kile cha Baragoi, watu waliomalizwa kama wanyama.
My name is Daniel Muigai, stage name Dantez. I'm a survivor of many attacks, majorly being the Baragoi attack, and this is my story.
Success is mostly measured by one's achievements, often without considering how much one toils in privacy to shine in the limelight. This was no different to Daniel Muigai, who after schooling had to face life as it was in order to eke a living.
I used to hustle at Kayole, selling eggs, boiled eggs, and part-time I was a donda, yani makanga, and I used to go with the 1960 vehicles, the matatus in Kayole, and from there I was hustling, and I didn't know what to do much. I just wanted a stable life. Although I was cool with what I was doing, but I wanted to be a bit more stable. And so I was trying it, and every time when recruitment came, because I loved to be a part of the government serving people. I think it was deep down in me since a long time ago. I wanted to serve people, do something that at least can create a change in the community, but didn't know how or what to do.
Having hanged his academic boots due to lack of funds, the situation at hand did not hinder him from pursuing his dreams. One time, God opened the door for him, changing his life around.
It was back in 2011 that I went for recruitment, and luckily I succeeded and was sent to Kiganjo. And in Kiganjo, we went about 15 months of training, both practical and theoretical, and we had so much to learn for the 15 months. Because by then we were being promised that we were going to have some certificates after learning, so we had the next level of education.
Graduating from the Kenya Police Service, Daniel's determination to serve the nation was still ticking afresh. Despite having to put his life on the line, he enthusiastically took up the duty, oblivious of what would befall.
It came a time of posting, and fortunately or unfortunately, I was sent to a place called Marara, Samburu. That was in August 2011. So after staying 1 month in Marara, and we had to cope up, since I was used up to town life, and considering that place was so much remote, and so I had to cope up with the 1 month. After like 2 months, it was on September that we were sent to Baragoi for some reinforcement about some cow. You know, through the tradition, the Samburu, Pokot, and Turkana tradition of cattle raiding, that's their lifestyle. And so we were sent there. Like there was a story where the Turkanas had stolen cattle from the Samburus, and as a part of the government, so we were sent there as reinforcement to go and help. And yeah, we went. It's a distance, it's almost like 200 kilometers from Marara, and it's a corrugation. So the bumpy, hot sun and what have you, scorchy, really scorchy. And yeah, so we went there. Actually, we never knew that we were going for some battle, because I was called from my normal patrol duties during the day. And then I was told like, hey guys, there are some people who need some food there, some ration in there, so you can come and take the ration into them and then come back. We were not briefed of You are going to reinforce, and or you're going to stay there. So I just put on my uniform like the way I am. Never carried anything, no water, no nothing. I almost even left my phone because I thought we were going and coming back. I had never gone to that place. Unfortunately or fortunately though, after reaching there, we gave them what we were giving them. And so in the midst of mingling with them, we came back to look for the driver. He wasn't there. So it's like we were being left there to go and reinforce them. So you don't have anywhere to sleep, you have nothing. And so we stayed there like for 2 weeks. 2 weeks advancing to search for the cattle and coming back. And so there were no clothes to change. There was no, like, you are like the way you are, the way I am now. And being sent somewhere for like 2 weeks. I don't know what to do, I don't know where to sleep, I don't know. And so we used to get some help from the community. And on the time, it came on a certain day that we were being told that the cattle had been seen somewhere. And so that place was called Romrock, Suguta Valley. And we went, it's a distance almost 40 miles from the camp. So we had to walk there. And on that verge, we found some bodies because previously there was some more, and we never knew of such. And we were on the way, we were getting some bodies, head, legs, body parts. And on that time it rang on our minds that this war was crazy. And so on the first day we collected the bodies, I think about 30 or so. And on the following day, they came and stayed at the station without being taken to morgue. And so the place was full of bad odor. And the following day, after the bodies were taken to morgue on the following day, very early in the morning, we were told to advance. At least we could get those cattle very early in the morning, like 3 a.m. So we went up, down the hills, until we approached a certain hill. And on that hill, it's where we were ambushed. It seems like they had waited for us, about 300 or so in number.
In a very unfamiliar terrain at the wee hours of the morning, exchange of fire intensified. Shortly after, their leader was shot and the troop dispersed, running for their dear lives.
After the shootout, you are to escape. You don't know where you're going. You don't know. And when you carry that gun, it's heavy. It's like 8 kgs. And you're running with 8 kgs. You don't know where you're losing that gun. You can't even carry it. You're dragging it. Just running like 20 miles, you are exhausted. You're seeking for water. The sun is so hot. And it happened when you escape through your own way. You don't know where your friends are. You don't know whether they are dead or not. And finding yourself that you are unharmed, you rush to the closest place, the hideout. But where is the hideout? You don't know where you're going to. Luckily, I found myself out of on the road. And on trying to stop some vehicles, they came and passed me. So I found a Land Rover. A Land Rover, and the driver was remorseful, and he carried me back to Marara. I never knew where my gun was. I don't know. I just came, changed, and rushed home. I never talked to any person when I arrived at home of what had happened. And because it was like a dream to me. These things have not happened. Am I too young for this, or was this meant to happen? And it was like, I went home, stayed, and on the news, my mom was like, why are you here? Why are you not at job? And I was like, no, I just came to rest. And I arrived home at around 6 p.m. and on the news, 7 p.m. news, my mom told me, "What is happening here? I think you were here, and I have heard some people are dead, and why are you here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was there, and whatever happened, I was there, and luckily, not by luck, but by grace, I'm here." And my mom screamed, "What? What is happening? And do you want to go back to the same job again? Can't you just quit?" And to me, she was like laughing. I was like, It's like she wasn't there. Some people are talking to me and I'm like, I'm not there. I even never knew where my mind was, because I was not even thinking about where I was from. So it was like I was surviving in a vacuum. And then my mom, she knows how to raise attention. She called, like, I think the whole village and the relatives, and they were like, you are there, and so you survived there. Don't go back there. My son and some of my cousins, don't go back there. Yeah, I think you are better off when you are a hustler. I was like, I'm not going back there. Sirudi.
Daniel escaped narrowly by the grace of God, and his life has never been the same again, despite losing most of his colleagues in war. But how did he pick up the pieces?
So after going back home, in my mind I was like, what was I seeking for in this job? I don't want this job. If I was back at Kayole being a hustler, I wouldn't get such a thing. And what benefit am I getting from this job? And so that zeal of serving for humanity wasn't even in my mind. It wasn't even ringing in my mind. And so when the bosses saw that this guy is running crazy, so they called me back at the station. Now they wanted to, they gave me some counselors, and I couldn't listen to the counselors. What were they telling me? What could I benefit from? And by that time, when I was thinking of don't want to go back to job, and it was that time that I realized that my friends had died a lot, and it was the Baragoi days. And so I consoled myself, and I was to go. I went to the Baragoi, I think 4 Baragois. What came to shock me was the reality of the people that I was talking to, the people who we were sleeping at the same barracks with, the people who we trained together with, the people who we were working with. They are no longer there. And how? It's because of some tiny mistakes and miscommunications within our leaders and the tribe's leaders that brought this quagmire. And for me to understand it, by the way, I never had a sleepless night about what is happening, because honestly speaking, I wasn't in my right mind. And so, like the body, the biological portion or events of the body, you have to sleep when you're tired. So the reality was hitting me like a week or 2 weeks after the burial. By then, the bosses were still clinging on me. Hey guy, just come back to job. We are not signing this letter. We're not signing. You're not signing these letters. I wrote another one. And I was about to take it to vigilance to tell them that I have quitted. And then a friend of mine, a boss, talked to me and told me that these things do happen. And there's a reason that you are alive. And you're not alive because you are a coward. You are a brave guy. And if there's any other way that you can serve humanity apart from being an officer, just go for it. But if the only thing and the closest and the easiest to serve people is by being a cop, just try to seek for something else, do something else, just like a part-time, but make an impact to young lives. And just try to preach peace. I talked to my cousin Joe back at Kiambu, and he told me, you can just do something about peace, make a song about peace, because whatever transpired to these things was tribalism, that a certain tribe is superior than the other tribe. And it sank into my mind. I was like, I can go back to job, but no.
Disillusioned, stressed, and confused, Daniel had lost touch even with himself. Seeing him in full combat is a clear indication that he followed his inner calling to serving humanity in the forces. But how did that happen, and how was his recovery journey? Find out more after the break. After months of contemplations, Daniel made up his mind as his passion pushed him the more. He later discovered a new talent.
I had to make decisions of life, whether I want to continue with the same field that I was in, and whether I was to quit. But after taking a lot of advices on quitting, I was like, those people who are telling me to quit, do they have any option that I can move on in life? Because I can't go back to where I was. That's like starting back from zero. And I waited for someone to tell me, just come, I will employ you. But out of 100, or those hundreds, no one gave me an option B. And I was like, in life, you fall and stand. Just like the Bible says that a man falls 7 times and stands back again. You just give yourself hope. And I came to a time that I was so much prayerful that God, I prayed you for a job. And those people who we were hustling with back at home, back in town, some of them never even had a job. And they were like, I want to be like where Dantez is. And I was like, if I quit today, where will I be getting? I can't stay back at home. I'll be a burden to my mom. And I was like, no, I have to move on. And for me to move on, I think, God, you have to help me. Don't send someone else, just be by my side, just be there for me. And all this time I was like, I won't quit. I can feel that there's someone close to me giving me hope, telling me that tomorrow is a brighter day than today. And I was like, yeah, I can move on. I can move on. And it was not that because of life stability, because my life mattered most. What if I would be dead? Money doesn't matter, like the salary doesn't matter, but I can't quit because of that. I have to move on, because I never know the other challenge that I would meet. There's no challenge bigger than what I had. And if I had surpassed that, what else? What else is bigger? And I was like, let the declaration was that if God is for us, who can be against us? And so I went back. We were being promised that these guys, you're going to get some transfers immediately. So it was just some hopes that we are being given that we'll get some transfers. And so I came back. I was headed back at job, and it was like, wait. 1 year down, 2 years down, 3 years down. And it was then that I decided to seek for a transfer 2015, because nothing was happening. After that incident, it's when that zeal of the closest and easiest way of serving humanity through music. I never knew how songs came into my mind. I was just writing, or you just walk, because there are a lot of bushes and jungle at Samburu, and when you are walking, you feel like, I can feel these are testimony. So you're having some songs in your mind, and a tune comes. And so I wrote almost 100 songs. And since then, I came out with my first song called Baragoi. And the song describes of how I escaped Naruri, how my friends died, how it's not that I was so much fair or good enough to be where I am or to be saved on that day. And on the same song, giving praises, lots of praises to God, telling him that I can't thank him enough.
Nakumbuka kisa kile cha Baragoi, watu waliomalizwa kama wanyama. Nilikuwa pale miongoni mwao, huyu Yesu akaniepusha kifo. Bwana wa majeshi mimi ameniokoa, Bwana wa majeshi mimi amenikomboa. Yesu jemedari mimi ameniongoza.
And from then, I came up with some other Kikuyu music of praising God. Some are worship, some are praise, because that's the only thing that I can sing.
I met an artist called Dantez. He's a very good guy. He likes singing. He has a talent. And since I knew him, we walked through some miles in music, and we came up with some few ideas in music, like his first song, Baragoi Massacre. And it was a song that really touched me because it says how he survived the massacre.
That was the start of my music journey. And since then, after I got a transfer to Nakuru. I found life a little bit easier compared to where I was.
Serving God and humanity diligently in his line of duty, God surely came through for him, giving him a sense of direction.
Later I came and married. I was blessed with a child. And life started moving on normally. And now most of the youths were like, hey buddy, did you survive that Baragoi incident? And now you are a musician, so you are a testimony. How did you survive? And I was talking to a lot of people, and it was that time that my cousin gave me that zeal after I recorded a song called Mzalendo. Mzalendo is about patriotism in Kenya, how we can survive. It doesn't matter which tribe you are coming from. And I registered a group called Mzalendo Initiative Organization. And I went door to door, talking to youths, telling them there's a group that I have formed, and registration is free, you can join it, and we can go and preach peace. And the first guy to approach in the same thing was a young man called Bravo.
That time I only knew he does music. So I also came to know he's a police officer. I never used to talk with police. I never had a friend, a police, who is a police officer, so he was the first one. And that time we met, we talked about the new group he was starting by the name Mzalendo Initiative Organization. So I liked the idea, and by appreciating that, I made the first logo for Mzalendo Initiative Organization for free, and I joined the group. So after joining, we started preaching peace. That was the main objective. We registered, we were given a certificate.
From then, the group has been progressing without sponsorship, and it's with the vision and mission to promote peace in Kenya. So what we do, we go to we visit the children's homes and street kids, we feed them, hospitals, elderly homes, and planting trees, giving back to the society. It's the little things that we do in life that matters most.
We also did peace walks here in Nakuru. That was the first one. And also in other towns we did peace walks. And after that was back in 2017, before the elections in 2018. So after the peace walks, we had to do something more different because that was our main objective, but we also had other objectives. So currently we are doing charity events, visiting children's home, and we are calling it Make It Happen.
Daniel, now a living testimony, does not only advocate for peace, but also taken the step to grow his career and enhance his skills.
I decided to move on with graphic and designs and advance with Bachelor's of Computer Science. Right now I'm in the 4th year, the 2nd semester at Presbyterian University of East Africa. I'm almost winding up with my Bachelor's in Computer Science.
Dantez is a good friend of mine. Despite of what we do with him, we do business. I'm his graphics teacher. I teach him graphics. So after him going to school, because what you get in school is not enough. I also went to school, but that is not enough. You have to practice and have that experience.
Surviving
the Baragoi massacre and a series of other life challenges, this multi-talented officer is just not ready to hang the boots and has a word to the young generation.
To those young souls that want to give up in life, let me give you an advice. You haven't tasted the worst of life, and even if you taste it, your tomorrow is brighter than today. If you feel like you've given it your all, it is at that time that you want to give up, that God is there. He wants to see whether if you kill your hope today, you can't have tomorrow. And as the saying says that a live lion is better than a live dog is better than a dead lion. If you are alive and you have a hope for tomorrow, just keep on cling onto it. Yeah, maybe some people are looking at me like they want to be where I am, but I'm looking at other people. I want to be where they are, and I know through the promise from heaven that I can achieve it. I can do all three things through Christ who strengthens me, and you too can do it. Don't ever feel like or give it a room of giving up in your life. To those people who want to join the forces and you feel like you are challenged and you can't move on. Yeah, it's a calling. It's not just any other job that you can bump into or the way that you can be employed in an M-Pesa. No, this is a job that is calling for you. What do you want? You have to know yourself in life. What do you want? It's not a matter of money. It's not about money. It's not about pleasure. It's not about leisure. It's about you, what you want, because you will get a lot of challenges here. And considering when you become a police officer, you are an enemy to many. You are an enemy to corruption. You are an enemy to terrorists. You are an enemy to thieves. It's not a simple thing, but it depends with what is your priority. What do you want in life? And how do you want to give it back to the society? Yeah, it's a good job when it is a calling for you. Make a change today. Leave a mark.
What's your story? If you'd like to share your story with us, kindly text us on 20316, WhatsApp on 0786 316 316, or email us on thisismystory@familymedia.tv, and we will get back to you.